Hey, bro. Hey, Will. I'm talking to him about maybe Dr. Nip if he's going to do it.
Who?
Will.
Oh, is he talking to you?
I don't know if I made enough noise for him. Him to hear me. I didn't want to yell 40 miles across the house.
Yeah, I'll be there in a few minutes.
I knew that.
Okay.
I just didn't. I got headphones on my head so I can't tell if I'm talking too loud. You know, when you hear stuff in the ear and there's a door closed, you don't know if you're talking loud enough to get through the door.
Right. I thought I heard, hey, sis.
No, I said,
Come on,
hey.
Greg.
First I said, hey, bro, and then I said, hey, Will, and then you came out.
And then I came out.
Yeah. Alexa, call Brandy Bobo's home.
Which contact? Brandy Bobo, Shirley Bobo, or home?
Brandy Bobo home.
Calling Brandy Bobo's mobile.
No, Alexa, hang up the phone. Alexa, call Brandy Bobo's home.
Which contact? Brandy Bobo, Shirley Bobo, or home?
Brandy Bobo's home.
Did you mean Brandy Bobo's home?
Yes.
Calling. Your calling does not accept unidentified call.
Alexa, press 1.
Please try again.
Alexa, press 1.
You're a solicitor. number 360.
Alexa, hang out the phone. Hot damn, motherfucker. You talk about doing that just right, because I was fixing to have a real problem if you didn't come out that door when you did. Till you take this motherfucking pin for me, because I don't care. You see that? I'm on my own YouTube channel, dude.
Oh, you are? Cool.
There ain't nobody on there, and if there was, there'd be a number up there, because everybody I know would comment.
Yeah.
And there'd be some print down there in the bottom where it'd be saying some shit, because they'd be here.
Can you hear me?
You can take the fucking things off for
I didn't know if you wanted to.
I don't even know. I guess it's hearing me talking. If it's saying I'm on the air, it's gotta be hearing my voice too, right?
Okay.
Only thing, you know what? Now when I turn my film on for that game, you're gonna see that your back is gonna be right in the middle of the camera.
I'm ready.
Hope your mama don't see it. She'll be able to identify your ass.
Yeah, see, she should be like, I know what his back look like. I know what his chest look like. That's my boy.
Because like she would know everything, dude. Probably every
I'm not
mark
kidding.
you got,
I actually have a story about that because there was a time when I was actually trying to see if I can camouflage outside for my fam. I'm not kidding. There's a time my dad and my mom was just driving one day, and I was just out with my friends. They was expecting me to be home after school, but I was out with my friends after school. And then after that, I came up. I came up and I just was walking down the street with my friend, and then we was talking, and me and my brother, and there, all of us just hanging out and everything. And then out of nowhere, I just saw the car that looked so familiar to my dad's old car. I was like, "Is that Dad?" And then I'm not kidding. My dad was staring me down. I was like, "Is that Will?" And I'm not kidding. My parents was both like head first into the thing. Was like, and my dad was still going straight. He was like, "Beep beep." U-turn. I'm like, oh no. Out of nowhere, my dad was like, get in the car. I was like, yes sir. Got in the car. And then my friends was like, are you gonna come back? I was like, I have to see. I don't know.
Oh, so you took
Because every time when my parents would not do that, then they'll be iffy about me leaving. You know.
So every time you do that, they think you're gonna go on some kind of a stupid hiatus, so you're not gonna be communicating with them and all that.
Yeah, and it was funny.
See there, dude, you can't complain because you're the motherfucker putting wire in their underwear. I mean, come on.
It was funny. I was like, I tried.
They probably get just as annoyed if you would put wire in their underwear, but come on now.
Well, I'm not a kid. Like, my dad just looked at me and was like, what made you think
You know what?
he was gonna hide from us? And I was like,
my dad never had nothing to do with me my whole life. In fact, when he found out me, he said, that ain't my son. I just allowed his mama to give him my name because she didn't have anybody else. That's what my dad said. My real dad said that.
that's false.
And the lady that called him from, he said, do you want to, first before he said that, do you want to talk to your son? He said, what do you mean? She said, I have your son, Montieri, here, and would you like to talk to him? She said, he said he's not my son.
What? Bro.
Straight up, bro, he said he's not my son.
That's why I'm glad I have my dad, because I know how heartless those fathers could be back then, not gonna lie. And every time when I know that like people will be having that, I'm like, I'm blessed, but at the same time I feel bad for them.
I'm gonna show you where I turned it around on him. Okay?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna show you where I turned it around on him real quick.
What I learned, just to let you know, just a little tip. Every time when you hit a dab, because you know how hot it can be, every time you drink something after, it will always cool it off to where you could be like, okay, I can breathe. And then you can take another hit.
I do breathe. I don't have no trouble breathing.
I know.
Sometimes I like to talk a minute, you know. My dad said he's not mine, and I went and told my mom that, right? She said, that is bullshit. She said, I know what man I slept with, and I know what man you came from. If you look at your other two brothers, you look just like all three of you. Each of you look different in your own way, but you still look like the same man that is your father. And that's what I'm going to stick to, and after that, I didn't argue with her no more.
Because she held it to her own word. There you go. There you go. You got it. That good? I can tell that was a good one. I'll give you a sec. Oh, your face is red.
That's how I think shit.
Is that good? Or you want one more?
Give me a minute to tell you something, then I'll tell you if I'm done. I gotta have a minute to know if I'm
I got you.
done. When you said not my son, I had an ace up my sleeve because Social Security already been calling me and asking me who my father was. The Social Security office.
Yeah.
They already been calling me. And I told them what his name was. So his middle name, his last name, and
date of birth and everything.
And the name and the name of his mother and all that shit. I never knew my dad. I never knew my grandma except when I was way small and still be.
Take a second.
remember her ever carrying me around, but I remember her being around when I had to be carried.
Yeah.
And
that's all that matters. At least
I remember her, and when I was little, I used to hate to see her coming because now I don't feel that way. But when I was little, she used to be kind of fearful to me, not because she ever did anything bad, but just because you know how when you're a kid, you're scared of some folks, even if they didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
And I went through that with her, and I told my grandma on my mother's side that she was not necessarily ugly, but she was kind of mean and a little bit.
Her attitude was
a little bit jagged on the edges,
Yikes.
And so it's like, and then my dad said what he said about not being my son. It said, I'm not his son. Then when he did that, when he said that, and then Social Security called me and asked me who my father was, and I told him. And I gave him all the names, not only his, but his mother and the connection.
Yeah, the whole.
Okay. Tree. And so she said, well, I didn't even have his Social Security number to begin with, but I said I can tell you everything about him. Yeah. She said if you can identify him, we'll figure something out. So then I gave her all that information. When I got done giving her all that information, she verified that's what the information was. She said I'm not supposed to do this because I'll lose my job, but I'm giving the Social Security number right on the phone. Oof.
Damn. You know they record too, so that's risky.
And when I applied for it, I got his Social Security, dude. My fucking income before that was a little bit over $500 a month.
Yeah.
When I got his income, it went to $7. Then when he died, it went to $4. Then when he died, it went to $14. Because he was getting, man, we were both living. He was getting half of it. I was getting $700. He was getting $700 plus. But the reason he could do that is because the amount of hours that he worked over his whole work career.
Yeah.
Because he was a workaholic, the amount of hours he worked up.
Yeah.
He had so much time in that they could give me half of it. And then when they counted up his work hours, all that money, they put all that money in one big pile. And then they divided it.
And just split it off?
Between the two. They took the whole number, the years of Social Security he worked.
Yeah.
Plus the extra, like
the extra time he was working.
Yeah.
So and therefore his overtime and his extra pay.
Yeah. It was
that is insane. That's a lot. Holy.
It was like astronomical, dude.
That's insane.
My dad worked in a gravel pit blowing up rock for many years with my grandfather, but then he went to work for Schuler Foods in Missouri somewhere. I don't know exactly where they're located at, and he spent 42 motherfucking years with that one company. He was 70 something when he retired, dude.
That's insane.
And the only reason he retired is because he had some blood circulation problems in his legs and, walking all the time.
Yeah.
Working in a warehouse, holding the clipboard,
Yeah.
And so he passed away from some heart problems, probably due to cigarette smoke.
Yeah.
And I know that him and my grandfather used to drink together before I was ever born. Because my grandparents My grandparents knew my dad before my mom knew my dad.
Oh shoot.
My mom knew my mom knew my mom. According to what my grandma's family says, my mom knew, but he went to my grandfather and asked to marry my mom, and so when he asked to marry my mom overthinks it. Okay,
Yeah.
she thought that they went to the bar, talked, and had some sinister thing like he paid him some money or something like that. This is what my mom thinks in her own head. She thinks because my father came back, my grandfather came back and said, "You're beaux now," which means you're getting ready to get married, right? Well, my mom took it literally like they just signed off like a title on a card. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't the way it was at all.
Yeah.
My grandfather just said, "Well, you're." My dad's name was really William Othel Airy, but they called him Bo.
For
And
sure.
and she,
Wait, you want one more?
yeah, and she literally said, and literally, that she thought that my grandfather and him went away and had a better watch out, dude. Don't let that build up.
I saw something.
No, dude,
That was my bad. I felt something on my arm. I was like, what the heck?
you better wait a minute before
I
you.
know. What did you want me?
Yeah, don't let him in. What do you mean, don't let him in there? Motherfucker, he tries to be in there every day.
Because I'm wanted to go in. I didn't try to open anything.
He's when you're not standing out here, dude. That dude's in that door all the time.
Marsha's afraid that he's gonna get beat up by the cats. That's her worry. That's why she thinks he's better out here with the other ones. Because they're fine like that.
Look,
It's just like the house.
but he wants to be with her. That's enough of that. That's pretty hot, dude.
I know.
Holy cow. But I played it. I played it just right. I didn't care where or not. Okay. After he already told me that he didn't want to be where I was.
Alright.
Meow, 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 meow.
See, now he'll stop.
You just want to see mom.
He would stay there all day if he had something to say. And obviously he does have something to say because he makes an awful lot of fucking noise.
That's true. You want this?
Yeah, well, no.
Oh, you want the control?
After that, I don't need that for a while.
What was this?
Hey, can you do me a favor? Pull that up and tuck it in. Because if you tuck it in the right way, it'll keep me straight in the chair and push me that way a little bit. See? You got,
Flex.
Got to get my hand out there now. There you go. I might be too flat. Let me get it going up like this till I get a grip on that, then I'll be okay with that.
Try right there. Is that good?
Pick it up a little bit. Stand it up. Stand it straight up till I get my hand on. There.
Let me know when you're ready for this.
Hey,
Can we just turn it off or?
yeah, when you get a little time later, maybe when you come back to help, if you come back later, you know, let me do it. Now time to help me.
Yeah.
I want to look at my Bluetooth on here because it lists my stereo Bluetooth.
Yeah.
It shows my stereo Bluetooth. And I tried to do it, but it said I didn't click it fast enough for that Bluetooth to respond. I think I gotta have it on it.
On time.
I gotta have it.
At the same time.
I gotta have it on Bluetooth, and I gotta turn the Bluetooth on the PlayStation, and because it already shows it.
Yeah.
So all I gotta do is just turn it on, flip it over. Then I'll be able to control my stereo through that shit. There probably ain't no
volume.
Well, there ain't no. I don't think there's any sound right now. My controller shuts off after
After a while.
10 minutes. Right. I don't want to. Yeah.
Oh, I hear it.
Hear that? Anyway, I want to make my Bluetooth so I can control my stereo through the PlayStation remotes.
Yeah.
And that's why I want to do it.
Okay.
Because then if I do it that way, then I can sneak my way in with them headphones that are hooked to the TV. Because there ain't no way to hook headphones to that motherfucker. But I can if I bootleg it through the TV and put the...
If you actually get a cord for that...
No, I don't have to do that.
It would still work the same as a headphone for the streaming.
No, there's Bluetooth right there. I want to match the Bluetooth to the PlayStation to the stereo Bluetooth.
Okay. Oh, okay.
You know, like pair it up.
Yeah, okay. I know what you mean.
Blip, blip. It just takes a couple seconds.
Yeah, it won't be long.
It says right on my shit, Bluetooth devices, I can be there in 10 minutes. You come back that quick. I can put my own stuff right where I need to be because you come back in 10 minutes and all you have to do is do it. Because you only got to click one or two buttons. I tried, like I said, I just couldn't react fast enough.
Yeah.
See, if you put that on Bluetooth and I turn around and put this on Bluetooth,
It'll connect.
it'll show you where it's at.
I got it.
Let's see what happens. Working on it. Can't get a hold of it. I don't want to drop it. I don't want to drop that motherfucker. I don't want to drop that cocksucker. I don't want to drop it. Motherfucker. Trying to rip a white guy off, dude. Gonna make me drop this motherfucker. This what? Flip it up over here again. That motherfucker tried to rip off a white dude.
For real, tried to leave you hanging and be like, hold on, hold on.
Yeah, yeah. I'll get there, and then I'll get there, and then I'll get a hold of you in a minute if I don't. If I find Bluetooth again.
Man, can I borrow your bowl piece?
Yeah, I don't care.
Alright. I just want to test something.
You got it.
Yeah.
I want to know what that test comes out to be like. Oh, let's see. Bro.